The 2025 MotoGP season is just around the corner, but the competition within the Ducati Lenovo team has been palpable from the start. Two top riders, Marc Marquez and Francesco Bagnaia, who now share the same garage, seem to have a solid working relationship during pre-season testing. However, many believe that this harmony is only temporary, especially with the title race getting tighter. Will the two be able to maintain their professionalism, or will they be involved in a fierce rivalry that could shake the team? Let's discuss it in detail. Since being announced as teammates at Ducati, Marc Marquez and Francesco Bagnaia have tried to build a solid professional relationship. During the Sepang and Buriram test sessions, the two have been actively discussing and working together to make the Desmosedici GP24 bike more competitive. In interviews with the media, both Marquez and Bagnaia have stated that they have the same understanding of the characteristics of the bike. They agree on the choice of engine, chassis, and aero fairing design based on last year's Ducati model. This harmony shows a promising start for the Ducati team in their efforts to maintain their dominance in MotoGP. The results of the pre-season testing have also shown the great potential of these two riders. Marquez, who previously spent years with Honda, seemed to adapt quickly to the new bike. Meanwhile, Bagnaia showed improvements in consistency and speed, establishing himself as one of the favorites to win. Despite the initial harmony, many MotoGP observers believe that the fierce rivalry between Marquez and Bagnaia is only a matter of time. Pablo Nieto, team manager of the Pertamina Enduro VR46 team, commented on the dynamics within the Ducati team. Speaking to GP1, Nieto believes that the relationship between Marquez and Bagnaia will change drastically when they face each other in the title race. I wouldn't want to be in Davide Tardazzi's, Ducati team manager, position, but on the other hand it's an interesting situation because both riders are competing at the highest level, said Nieto. At the moment they have a good relationship, but if the title fight gets closer the tension between them will definitely increase. This has happened many times in the history of MotoGP, where teammates become fierce rivals. He added, "For a team like ours it is positive to have such a problem. I would like to see the same situation between Franco Morbidelli and Fabio Di Giannantonio. It all depends on how well the team manages the situation." As well as Nieto, several former MotoGP riders also gave their opinions. Casey Stoner, former world champion and Ducati legend, said that Ducati have to be careful with this rivalry. Marquez and Bagnaia are two riders with a championship mentality. If they start fighting on track, I'm not sure their relationship will remain as harmonious as it is now, said Stoner in an interview with MotoGP.com. Eight-time world champion Marc Marquez is known as one of the most aggressive and competitive riders in MotoGP history. Although this is his first season with Ducati, many believe that Marquez will immediately become a serious threat to Bagnaia for the title. Pablo Nieto acknowledged Marquez's strength. "I've never worked with him directly, but I know he's an exceptional rider. With a competitive bike, he will definitely be a strong contender for the title this year." On the other hand, defending champion Francesco Bagnaia will not be silent. According to Nieto, Bagnaia's main advantage lies in his self-confidence, something that is very important in MotoGP competition. Pecco has to stay focused and believe in himself. That's what separates the great riders from the rest. Of course there will be difficult times, but I'm sure he can fight for the title this year, he added. Another former world champion, Jorge Lorenzo, also commented on the battle between Marquez and Bagnaia. Ducati have two exceptional riders, but they have to be careful. If their rivalry is not managed well, there could be an internal conflict that is detrimental to the team, Lorenzo told DAZN. The fierce competition of the 2025 MotoGP Premier Class will begin this weekend with the first series at the Chong International Circuit in Buriram, Thailand. Riders from various teams are ready to put their best foot forward in a bid to secure maximum results from the start of the season. Ducati, the Italian factory team, is once again a strong favorite to dominate this year's competition. With a lineup that includes two former world champions, Francesco Bagnaia and Marc Marquez, the Borgo Panigale outfit are increasingly confident as they head into what promises to be a challenging season. The arrival of Marc Marquez in the Ducati factory team, replacing Enea Bastianini, further strengthens their status as the main contenders for the title. The reason for this is that Marquez is not a random name in MotoGP. The winner of 8 World Championship titles has proven himself to be one of the best riders in the history of the premier class of motorcycle racing. Despite this, Marquez is reluctant to get carried away ahead of the first race of the season. In an interview, The baby alien insisted that even though Ducati have a strong lineup, that does not mean they can easily dominate the championship. MotoGP is a competition that is always dynamic. No team or manufacturer can feel safe. Ducati is strong, but I am sure that other manufacturers have also made exceptional preparations for this season, said Marquez. Marquez's presence in the Ducati factory team is not without reason. Last season, despite defending the satellite Gresini racing team using the Ducati Desmacedessi GP23 bike, he showed that he was still a serious threat on the track. In conditions where many doubted his ability after a lengthy injury, Marquez actually performed competitively, taking 10 podiums and 3 wins throughout the season. These results prove that he is still capable of competing at the highest level. Now, with the latest bike and a more solid team under Ducati, many believe that Marquez can return to his best form and challenge for the 9th World Championship title of his career. Although Ducati are the favorites, Marquez is quick to point out that the fight for the title is not just theirs. He believes that other manufacturers such as KTM, Aprilia and, of course, Yamaha will provide fierce resistance throughout the season. The KTM team, which has developed rapidly in recent seasons, is expected to be more competitive with its main riders Brad Binder and Jack Miller. Meanwhile, Aprilia has also shown significant improvement with the performances of Aleix Espargaro and Maverick Vinales. Yamaha cannot be underestimated, especially with Fabio Quartararo determined to bounce back after a disappointing season last year. All the teams are working hard to be the best. We cannot underestimate anyone. MotoGP will be very close this season and anyone can be champion, added Marquez. The 2025 MotoGP of Thailand will be the first test for all the teams to show their readiness for the long season. The Chong International Circuit, famous for its fast and technical tracks, will be the first battleground to test the greatness of the bikes, the strategies and the skills of the riders. Marquez himself has a pretty good record at this track. He has won at Buriram in previous years, when he was defending Honda. Now with a Ducati bike in his hands, the public will be waiting to see if he can return to glory or face a tough challenge from his rivals. There has also been speculation that Pedro Acosta could join the VR46 team, although the team usually takes on riders from the Valentino Rossi Academy. The uncertainty at KTM could prompt Acosta to look for new alternatives. As a young MotoGP talent, Acosta has a good relationship with Rossi, which strengthens the rumors of his move. However, there has been no concrete indication of such a move. When asked about the possibility of recruiting Acosta in the future, VR46 team manager Pablo Nieto was diplomatic. "You should ask Gigi Dall'Igna, not me. But it's too early to talk about it now. I am very convinced that with the 2 riders we have we can do very well," he said. Nieto also touched on a possible change in the team's philosophy regarding the development of young riders. VR46 was created from the outset with the aim of bringing young Italian riders from various championships, such as the Italian and Spanish national championships and Moto3, into the MotoGP class. So far, this strategy has paid off with the success of several riders such as Francesco Bagnaia and Franco Morbidelli. The 2025 season is predicted to be one of the most exciting MotoGP seasons in recent years. Ducati now have 2 exceptional riders in their garage, and how they manage their internal rivalry will be key to their success. If Marquez and Bagnaia continue to compete closely until the end of the season, it is possible that we will see some high drama within the Ducati team. Where do you see this race going? Let us know your opinion in the comments section.